So what I'm really addressing in this chapter is the fact that when somebody makes a mistake themselves, they'll blame it on usually circumstances beyond their control. They'll say, well, I just got too much on my plate. Well, this customer is just very demanding, or I didn't get enough notice, or I'm juggling a lot of things. So yeah, I'm working hard and I'm doing the best I can, but yeah, I'm gonna make a few mistakes. But when other people, not me, but other people make mistakes, people say, well, that's because they're not working hard enough, or that's because they don't care, or that's because they just like to cut corners. It's not because they're busy like I am, it's because they cut corners, or they're lazy, or whatever. So if you think about it, everybody's thinking this way. So the person you think is lazy, cutting corners, and doesn't care, thinks you're lazy and cutting corners and don't care. But you think it's because of how busy you are. They think it's because of how busy they are. And so that's the trap and the cycle that we're trying to address here. And the only real way to address it is to really understand other roles, or to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. And then you'll see that everybody's busy, everybody's working hard, everybody has a hard job, everybody thinks they have the hardest job, everybody wants to give advice to other people because it's easy for me to give advice because I don't really know all the details, all the little things that you do and you have to deal with every day. But I don't want you to give me advice because you don't understand my role. You don't understand all these little details. Hey, great advice, but you don't understand the role enough to be giving me advice. But hey, let me give you some advice on your role. Or here, read this book and everything will be better. So it's really addressing the fact that we just all have to understand that. Think about how busy and hard and passionate you are about your work, and how you're grinding every day, and how you're trying to do the right things, and you still make little mistakes once in a while. Just think about that and apply it to everybody. Just assume everybody else is in that same situation, not just you, but everybody. And then we can start to think about each other's roles and what you're going through and things that are hard, and then we can start doing things that set each other up for success. We can start doing little things that make life easier, so we have less of all those little fires to put out every day. And then we can start to see some real value being created for each other. We could start making some progress, but only when we just say, we put down the notion of, I'm failing because of these circumstances, you're failing because you're just not a good person, or maybe you're a good person but you don't work as hard as I do, or you don't care as much as I do. So that's what we're addressing in this chapter, and it's really just understanding each other's roles, and it's something you have to do yourself. You have to call someone from another role and say, hey, let's talk about what the challenges you have and how I can help. Let's talk about all the little things. Don't just say, read this book, or here's some advice for you. Help me understand how I can help you. And if everybody does that, that's where the team's going to start to elevate, stress is going to go down, and we're going to start doing great things.